everyone. How are you? I am Ebony with 14PTV, and today we have a special guest. And I'll let you introduce yourself.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Glad to be here. So yeah, my name is Nathan Turner. I'm a Canadian. I live up in Canada. I do all of my business in the US. Right now, I run an investment fund where we buy mortgage notes all over the country. And I've been a serial entrepreneur my whole life, and this is what I've been doing the last 15 years, and I just love it.
Absolutely, that's great to know. And we're glad to have you over here at 14 Key TV. Make sure you guys go subscribe to us and make sure you check out Nathan on Matchmaker FM. I'll make sure I'll link his page down below. So if any of you other podcasters want to check him out and maybe have him on, you can definitely go to his page and I'll definitely link that for him. And next,
All right.
You discovered mortgage notes back in 2009. Can you share the moment or event that led you to this discovery and how it changed your approach in real estate investing?
Sure. So before I was doing note investing, I had done some real estate. I was doing fix and flip and rentals. The thing with the rentals that I discovered was I liked the monthly cash flow,
Absolutely.
but there was like nothing else that I liked about it. It was hard to manage. Anytime somebody moved out, this was on the other side of the country, so I would fly out with a bunch of tools and fix up the house, and it was a lot of headaches. So when I was first introduced into the note investing business, what I figured out was that it had all of the stuff that I liked, the cash flow, without any of the headaches that go along with it. Because when I buy a mortgage note, I'm just buying the mortgage, not the actual property. So taking care of the property is the responsibility of whoever lives there. Same as if you had your mortgage with the bank. You don't call the bank when your roof needs fixing. You don't need the bank to fix your toilet. That's not what banks do.
Right.
Banks just collect your money, and that's basically what I do now.
Absolutely.
So it takes away all those headaches.
Absolutely. So transitioning to private investing, what inspired you to transition from flipping real estate to focusing more on private investing, and how do the risks and rewards compare?
A lot of it had to do with making sure that I knew what my investors were in for. So with a fix and flip or anything like that, the issue that I found is you can make good money on it, but the returns are unpredictable, and both in timing and in the actual return itself. So for me, that was really the number one thing. I wanted to make sure that I knew what expectations I could set for the investors,
Right.
and then I knew what I had to do to meet that. And that's, for me, far easier to manage, and that's worked out really well.
Absolutely. So next we'll talk about key strategies for success. What are the top strategies you use to consistently succeed in the real estate market, especially during economic downturns?
I actually made a list of this not long ago, so I happen to have that here. But I mean, very, very first thing is just being open to opportunity. There is opportunity all over. In fact, transitioning into real estate in the beginning came from a conversation where somebody was trying to pitch me on multi-level marketing, which I was not interested in doing, but she mentioned something about real estate market in a particular town being really good.
Right.
And so I kind of put that in the back of my mind during the conversation. And then later when I got home, I said to my wife, she's talking about real estate being really good in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan in Canada. I'm like, I've been to Saskatoon, like, I don't know. So I knew somebody that lived there and was able to talk to him, and he confirmed. And then that started me into real estate from one chance conversation with somebody trying to pitch me on something I had no interest in doing. And then it led to being open into real estate. So that's like my number one thing, is just like be open and make sure you're paying attention. There's opportunity everywhere.
Absolutely. So now we're going to focus on the challenges and, overcoming them. So, what's been one of the biggest challenges you faced in your career, and how did you overcome
I would say one of the biggest challenges that I had was coming out of failure, where before real estate, going way back in time, my wife and I owned 2 Curves franchises. So this is in the early 2000s. It was the gym for women, and it was really, really popular at the time. And so we ran those for a few years, and we were actually doing really well. And it was as the market started to change, like in late 2007, 2008, when people are worried about money, what's one of the first things they're going to cut? Your gym membership. So we went from being, one of the largest clubs in our province in Canada. We were doing very well, and then all of a sudden we weren't. And by the time we ended up selling our Curves franchises, we had to combine them into one and sold for a fraction of what we thought we were going to in the first place. So we ended up being deep in debt and had to overcome that. And that was tough. That was really tough, trying to figure out how to navigate that, and we could say, it's only money, but it's kind of important. So just trying to figure that out and where we could come up with money to pay things back. So it was a long-term struggle, but you get through it.
Absolutely. So next we're moving on to current market trends. In today's real estate market, what trends or opportunities are you paying attention to, and how do you see the future of mortgage notes evolving?
So I'm always, even though I'm not buying real estate by itself, I'm buying the mortgage attached to the real estate. I am always paying attention to the housing market, because that can determine what kind of notes I'm going to be buying. And what that means is, when I got started in 2009, 2010, there were just thousands and thousands of defaulted mortgages where people were not making payment. And the truth is, because we can buy at bigger discounts in that kind of a situation, overall, we actually made more money. We actually did better. With a good market, we still do very well, but with a down market, we actually do a little bit better. So I'm watching the market to see where that's heading. I think we're headed into another recession. When and how bad, I couldn't tell you, but we're showing signs that that's kind of the direction we're going. So it may turn out that I'm transitioning again from performing mortgages where people are making payments to buying more non-performing where people are not, where I can make a lot more happen for people that are staying there, where we actually do very well with keeping people in their homes. That's been great.
Right on. So next we'll talk about, the advice that you would give to new investors. What advice would you give to someone just starting in real estate investing, and particularly in the niche of mortgage notes?
Particularly in mortgage notes, my first bit of advice is get some education, because it's similar to real estate, and there are a lot of attachments to real estate, but it's not real estate. And so make sure you understand the difference between the real estate game and what we're doing with notes, which is more of a finance game. And the rules are different, and the approach is different, and you can get into a lot of trouble if you try to approach it as if it was real estate. So that'd be my very first piece of advice: get educated. And that's not even a pitch. I don't teach. But get some education.
Absolutely. So this is pretty much the last question.
All right.
What are your future goals in the real estate industry, and how do you plan to achieve them?
So my goal, it's more of a personal goal, I guess, but my wife and I, we've got 3 kids. Our youngest is 14. So we're looking down the road. He graduates when he's 18 and soon after turns 19. So about 5 years from now, we're looking at being in a position where we can be, quote unquote, retired. Financially independent is really kind of what we're looking at. So 5 years from now, we want to be in a position where, as our kids leave the nest and start traveling, we can go and visit anytime, anywhere, and go on trips and take them with us, that kind of thing. But that's the goal, is just financial independence, 5 years.
Absolutely. Now, me, I'm a big sports person, and I did see
Yeah.
this, so this will probably be just like a bonus question. So,
Sure.
what is your favorite winter sports? Now, mine personally is ice skating.
Okay. I started snowboarding my last year in high school. So I love snowboarding. I love it. We go at least once a week during the winter. And in fact, yesterday in town where I live here, it was cold and rainy.
Hmm.
And in the mountains, about an hour from me, it snowed. So we're very excited. It's August and it snowed in the mountains, so we're very excited. Looking forward to a good season.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I would like you to actually tell people where they can follow you, your website maybe, and
Yeah.
any contact information that you would like to share.
For sure. So probably the best thing to do would be go to the website. That's earnestinvesting.com. You can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Nathan Turner. I'm there. And yeah, I'd love to connect. So if anyone's got any questions or would like to chat, I'm open.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on 14Key TV, the podcast, the show. It was great having you. I am Ebony, and this is
Nathan Turner signing off. Thank you.
and we're out. Peace.